The rabbit hole deepens. Here we go. Abounding in the comics. Backlash to predatory female streamers twerking, grinding, and pole dancing now freely allowed with no content labels. This is by Spencer Bakuli. Sorry if I butchered your last name, but all because of this right here. I mean, I'm gonna keep my comments until later. I'm gonna try to. If a site with a primarily teenage user base were to receive a bevy of complaints against an invasion of unrelated users preying on those same users with their sexuality, one would expect them to take some action to retain and the integrity of the operation. That is, unless the site were Twitch, as rather than respond to a new round of complaints against their continued compromising of their sexual content policies in favor of cashing in on the behavior of predatory female streamers. What the hell? Why is it running like this? Where's the comment anyway? Female streamers by fairly enforcing their own rules, the purported video game streaming platform has instead heavily relaxed them. The current round of criticism against Twitch was sparked after a number of users took notice of the fact that, in a natural progression of the platform's already egregious allowance of hot tub and bikini streams, some female streamers had taken to streaming, or at least appearing to stream, completely topless. While many such streamers have been highlighted as engaging in this practice, three in particular had found themselves as the face of the latest backlash. um, Asian Bunny X, whose account Twitch has reportedly begun promoting to more and more users who don't regularly engage with this sort of content. Strawberry Tabby, whose engagement in this practice was particularly blatant. And Morgan Pie, I thought it was Morgan Pie. Anyway, a video of her shaking her seemingly bare breasts for tips, serving as the main lightning rod for users' criticism. Yep, here it is. I've already showed you guys the video. That's in the previous, or 2 days ago. Anyway, following nearly a week of users calling for action against this blatant exploitation of Twitch's primarily teenage male user base, the streaming platform's administration finally decided to take action. However, rather than choose to actually implement their own sexual content policies, they instead chose to heavily relax them. Officially updating said policies on December 14th, Twitch explained that, in the main divergence from the previous rules, some types of content that were prohibited will now be allowed on Twitch if appropriately labeled. For Twitch, previously banned content now allowed with explicit sexual content label includes content that deliberately highlighted breasts, buttocks, or pelvic region, even when fully clothed. This change specifically made because the site found that the former sexually suggestive content policy was out of line with industry standards. It resulted in female presenting streamers being disproportionately penalized. Body writing on female presenting breasts and or buttocks regardless of gender, fictionalized, drawn, animated, or sculpted, fully exposed female presenting breasts and or genitals or buttocks regardless of gender, though fictionalized sexual acts of masturbation remain prohibited. And erotic dances that involve disrobing or disrobing gestures such as stripteases. Further, in a particular boon to the platform's golden geese, labels are no longer needed for streams featuring popular dances such as twerking, grinding, and pole dancing. Previously, some dances were prohibited and others were allowed with a label. Recall Twitch. Enforcing on dances regardless of context meant our policy prohibited twerking at a wedding or taking a pole dancing exercise class, for example. The policy now takes context into consideration and only prohibits streaming inside of an adult entertainment establishment. In terms of video games, the site's administration affirmed that they would handle nudity in games in two ways. First, they began games featuring nudity, pornography, sex, or sexual violence as a core focus or feature are entirely prohibited. custom gameplay or visual modifications that include nudity or sex content, including uncensored patches, and otherwise allowed games are prohibited. Second, they continued, for games where nudity is not the core focus or feature, the mature rated the mature games I'm sorry, guys. Damn. The mature rated games content classification label is sufficient for incidental nudity. However, the sexual themes label must be applied to gameplay that focuses on nudity. To this end, Twitch additionally warned that users may not engage in simulated sexual activity or erotic roleplay with other players in online games, adding games that primarily consist of user-generated content. And game roleplay or interactions in virtual reality are not exempt from this policy. Finally, in terms of the platform's recommendation algorithm, Twitch confirmed that while the application of a content classification label would prevent a stream from being recommended on the site's front page, excluding the lighter labels of mature rated games, those being games such as Grand Theft Auto 5 or Persona 5, rather than anything classified as solely pornographic and profanity, they would not prevent streams from being recommended in the left bar of the homepage, as stream thumbnails are not shown in the section. Viewers can still search for or go directly to channels they follow that are streaming labeled content via the left bar of the homepage, but streams using these labels will not be surfaced in homepage recommendation shelves, said Twitch. Making this change helps ensure that viewers will not see content they haven't consented to seeing. Admittedly, these changes will have positive effects for both art and video game streamers, as it will both allow them more freedom to market and monetize their content, no more fearing that a playthrough as in Kagura Peach Beach Splash or edgy drawing of Street Fighter's Cammy will result in their stream being suddenly struck, for example. However, given the circumstances that led to their implementation, sorry, it's impossible to not see this move for what it truly is, an excuse for Twitch to continue making money off of its users by way of sexually predatory content. Oh, man. Uh, oh, there's so much, man. Wow. Just from this. Honestly, I was thinking that because of Amaranth, it would, I mean, in a way, yes, too. But I thought Amaranth would be solely the one to be doing, but not, I don't know, dude. I mean, go ahead. I don't really care. I already made a video about this and I had my thoughts about it. But this is just good for the artists and the actual people who want to stream games that contains that. But uh, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they have. I guess they do have a section for adults now on Twitch. I don't know. There's so much going on. I don't even think they even. I don't know. I don't even want to know, to be honest. All this because of a thought shaking her breasts on the live stream without showing the nipples. So now we're in now Twitch is in a funny place where now the artists are coming on there and they're just like, oh, this is artistic expression. Well, what was it called again? Shit. Artistic nudity, where they are drawing and streaming, but now they're showing, as long as they don't show sexual acts, just a naked character. That's it. I uh yeah, Twitch is no longer a video game platform. It's just no longer. I'm not sure if I want to say like you know a woman ruined this, but at the same time, maybe they didn't. Maybe she didn't. And it's always the thoughts, man. It's always the only time I've heard like the most backlash from Twitch was usually because of a freaking thought. Any other time I could count was like an unfair ban, like a guy who was showing his pet and it slipped out of his hand. And it it was you could tell it was clearly actually because he was trying to catch his animal, but they went ahead and labeled it as um, animal abuse. I haven't heard anything else, without thoughts included. I haven't heard any backlash other than that, and that was like what, a few years ago, huh, dude? I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be laughing at this, but the more I think about it, it's just it's messed up. This is again, Twitch is in a weird state right now, and I'm seeing, of course, I'm seeing posts on Twitter saying, how can you allow this when literally on your app it says for 12 years and older. Of course, they mention here on this article that male teenagers, are predominantly on there too. So, hmm, well, we'll have to see how that pans out later. I, I kind of want to give it a month or two. I want to give it a month or two for them to start changing stuff up again and implementing rules like oh, you can't show you can't show draw nudity, but if you're like an in real life streamer doing this crazy stuff, you're okay as long as you don't show you know. Um, then I'm seeing VTubers as well doing full showing their full naked model, I guess. And it's stated in the rules somewhere that such things are not allowed, but yet they allow artistic nudity. What is going on? Like, what? How can you define artistic nudity? Like, do they? Again, it's probably somewhere in the article, but that article was such a mouthful, and so much going on. It doesn't even sound like it doesn't. It sounds like Twitch themselves don't know what the hell they're talking about or what they're trying to implement. All they know and what they saw was that, wow, this is bringing a lot of people, and we're gonna make a lot of money out of this, so we're gonna exploit uh these. Well, honestly, how can you call it exploiting if the woman herself is just doing this? If she decides to do this, I mean, how can you really call that exploitation? I wonder if any of these kids' parents are gonna sue Twitch. I wonder, and I think that's what I'm kind of banking on with this month or two timeline deadline I'm giving them, because this is I don't really see this lasting for long, especially when you have parent. I'm not saying a lot of parents are like this, but you guys can't fault me here because I think y'all see this too with parents not acting as parents. They're letting technology parent their kids, and their kids are accessing this stuff, and they're finding girl and stuff like Morgan Pie doing this crap. And I'm not trying to sound like a puritanical or someone who's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just saying is that I think Twitch should invest more into like having like an adult side to it, not like straight up pornography, but something where it's more mature rate. Again, mature rated. It's not designed for kids. The kids can have their Twitch kids thing, like how YouTube does. YouTube kids, Twitch kids, whatever. But of course, that's going to cost money. So I don't think, and Twitch has shown us time and time again they're pretty lazy and they don't know what they're doing. Oh my gosh, what a mess. Anyway, I'm done with this. Uh, just want to say quickly, if you guys want me to tackle a certain article or conversation, just shoot me a public message on Twitter or X, what the hell you want to call it nowadays, and you know, I'll look into it. I think that would be fun. I think that'd be a lot more engaging than me just trying to find these articles and see what's going on. What's the next top trend? And I don't mind looking into trends. Oh, because sometimes they get really crazy, and you're like, okay, I have to make a video, but it gives me something. It gives me a responsibility to like actually like, hey, I'm doing this for the audience. The audience wants me to cover this. Want to see my they want to hear or see whatever my reaction to this, and I just I think that would be I think that would be better and keeps me accountable for what I'm trying to do and change up, have a better schedule for y'all. So uh I'm done now. Spoke my piece, and ciao.